Good morning and welcome to Sign & Digital Explains. This morning we will be discussing retail and surface graphics for hospitality sector and retail. My first guest this morning is a gentleman who describes himself as a Belgian beer lover, so he's certainly all right where I'm concerned. He is the product and referencing manager for Cover Style, and I'd like to welcome to the stage my first guest, Mr. Jeremy Chuskello. Come on up, Jeremy.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
There you go. Jeremy, good to see you. Thanks for coming up.
Good to see you.
So you've been here at the show with your products Cover Style, is that right?
It,
and
yeah.
you're supporting your distributor here, is that correct?
Exactly. We got a network of distributors through Europe, also worldwide. And for this trade show, I'm supporting some our.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about the company, if you will, and really you know where the products fit into that.
Mm-hmm. So well, basically, Solar Screen International is a company based in Luxembourg.
Luxembourg.
Yeah, it was created 35 years ago. It was initially a family business, but then we grew up by innovating and we became window film suppliers, most important in Europe actually.
Really?
Yeah, we are.
So I've been staying in a hotel just close to the show, and I'm amazed to see the amount of wall decor that is in there, and a lot of it looks suspiciously like what I've seen on your stand.
Yeah, actually it's a big thing. Our Cover Style products is a range of the products we sell it, and it's the contract, the hotel and restaurants sector is very important. It's very huge, and it's growing very importantly. Yeah.
So tell me, how did you actually come to get involved with the company, and what's your background?
My personal background, actually I was working for 7 years in a asbestos removal supply company, which was nothing linked with this industry, but it was an interesting field, and then they were looking for a multilingual sales guy, skill. So I applied, and
there we are. Well, Joe came and visited your stand earlier on in the week, and we got a clip of that with Joe talking to you about it. So let's watch that.
Yeah, sure.
You heard me talking to Rudy, the event director, before about interior decor. It's been a massive thing now in the industry. Well, I've come and grabbed Jeremy. Now, Jeremy, tell me about your interior decor here, and of course, I saw the sparkles. I couldn't resist coming over. Anything. I'm like a magpie. It's absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, all these Cover Style films are architectural solution, actually, either for refitting shops and retails, either hotels and private houses. It could be sky is the limit, as I love to say, you know, because actually the good thing with this effect is self-adhesive, 10 years warranty, fire retardant, and also you can shrink it, you can wrap it. By hitting it, you can really wrap some corners and have very amazing effects.
Wow, it's incredibly versatile, isn't it? And can you personalize that as well?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, whatever you want. Furnitures, walls, chairs, what you want.
That's amazing, and I've seen down here as well. Anything that I can break, I like to stand on. So let's have a little look at it. So it says, feel the strength of our 300-meter micron safety film. Can I really stand on this?
Yeah, please.
Oh my goodness.
Jump.
Jump?
Please.
Okay.
Film. You see?
I mean, I like to say that I'm 9 stone, but I'm not. I'm over 11 stone, and that is quite a lot on some safety film, and it really is feels quite flimsy, but actually, what a strength. That's amazing. Wow. And that's what you need in any kind of business, don't you? You need that kind of dependability.
For banking, for sad reason of terrorism and to protect schools and public places, it's very it's very requested in these sad days, let's say.
Absolutely, in these sad days. Well, thank you very, very much, Jeremy. And get over here and check out the interior decor.
Thank you, Joe. Ooh, what about that? That was quite fascinating. The petite Joe there, I might add. So it's you can personalise it. So this material you can print onto as well?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, actually, one of our best sales is the classic white pitch effect, you know.
Yeah.
And you can print on it with UV, obviously, UV technology,
UV.
but also eco-solvent and latex.
Eco-solvent, latex and UV
Yeah.
for your range.
Yeah,
Excellent.
you can also cut it with plotters, and except the glitter effects are a bit particular. You have to use a special plotter to cut it because it's very abrasive. It's
okay. Well, we've got another clip that I'd like you to just take us through, actually, which is sort of the products, you know, in the transformations before and afters. So. Where are these being used, Jeremy?
Well, basically, Carrefour is the number 2 in the it's like supermarket chain. It's the number 2 in the worldwide.
Yeah.
And they're using a lot of this adhesive solution to refurbish and renew spaces. Brioche Dorée is another example in France. It's a very famous bakery chain, you know.
Yeah.
And we refit them. A lot of their point of sales because it's a no time solution. It's clean.
Yeah.
No dust, no odor. Installer can do the job, can refit the place without closing the activity.
And it's in areas such as hospitality as well as in the retail sector, isn't it? So it's for refitting. Refurbishment is another thing. So let's take a look at another clip now in that sector, if we may. And here's actually some guys applying it, isn't it?
Yeah, this is basically an hotel in Fuerteventura in Spain. And
so
this is
the before.
This is the before. Yeah. You see it totally changed, and
it's a fabulous effect, isn't it? I love all the wood grain.
The big advantage is also certificated and fire retardant and everything. You know,
let's take a look at what Club Med have been doing with it, if we will.
I was personally engaged.
Were you?
Long time, yes.
Well, you were fitting it.
Yeah.
Tell us about this a little bit. So this is actually at Club Med, is it?
Yeah, it is in South Portugal.
Yeah.
We actually had 150. I was there as a consultant, you know. Actually, it was about 150 rooms.
Yeah.
All the closet, main door, bathroom door, toilet door, mini bar.
I can't tell you, Jeremy, how many hotels I've stayed in that have had scruffy, rooms like that, and all of a sudden you could just clean it up with literally, what is effectively a sticky back material, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
And it was, in this particular case, it was in very bad condition, so it changed everything. Also the lift, they asked us to refit the lift. It's a very good solution to
it's a
renovate.
Fantastic thing. I really like the way it's actually been used for refurbishment and brightening up any space. It's a cost-effective solution, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. The idea, they choose our solution because it was it cost basically 1/3 against a classical renovation, because every furniture was made on measure. It was old-fashioned Portuguese furniture, but they could close only 2.5 months. So it was no time refurbishment for.
So it really is cost effective if you're a restaurant or a shop, and you've got, it gets careworn, doesn't it? This is simply a great economical, fast way of freshening up the whole thing. It's an incredible product.
Yeah.
Joe mentioned in the clip earlier about spangles. Now, what's that all about? She saw the bright, spangly, shiny things.
Yeah.
She's like my wife. She's attracted to shiny stuff.
Yeah, women love it. But actually, it's a product we sell a lot for Christmas events or for special events. It's mostly, you mean the glitter, all the glitter sparkling solution, yeah? Actually, it's really trend. Yeah, we got many examples. Some Jimmy Choo, for example, is
Really?
use it just for one night. They wrap some British taxis
Yeah, yeah.
with a glitter solution. It's not car wrapping solution, by
No, but for
just,
bling.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
it.
I understand it. What I wanted to show as well is we have a clip of actually how easy it is in the application side of it, and I wanted to show that for any potential fitters that are looking at it, because it is such a great thing. So this is all you need, isn't it? The toolkit's pretty standard sign making equipment. Wall preparation there is just what, cleaning it with the appropriate solutions.
Grip primer to.
That's primer, is it?
Yeah. And actually, it's all about also multi-sense. I mean, it's not only nice from seeing; it's also nice from touching. And
it's very, very tactile, isn't it? I noticed
definitely.
because
Yeah,
there's
it's
a
well
grain
structured
pattern.
and it's scratch resistant, and it's also, nowadays it's retails or hotels or restaurants have to attract people because many sales are made online or through giant malls and something. So they have to add an extra value to a table, to a wall, to a cashier. I don't know. So because the effect is really different. When I want just an example that if you go to a restaurant, even if the food is not that great, but you have a concrete table, a leather table, you will remember it. It's an additional value, And
what about for the corporate sector as well? I mean, a lot of corporate interior decor. And one of the things that was interesting yesterday was during one of the panel debates that I watched was very much a consensus of opinion that sign makers and printers today need to start getting involved in this kind of architectural interior design, So where do you think the trends are coming from?
The trends actually in US and I mean, you mean about this? On US, this kind of solution is way more used than Europe. Europe you use wallpaper, classic traditional wallpaper, painting. Especially in the southern country of Italy, Portugal, Spain, and they're not really used about this kind of solution. But
I read an article yesterday, actually, from somebody in America that is talking about the kind of trends in this market. And what they were saying is that in the States, it's very much compartmentalized and regionalized, so that in North of America, it's one type of style that they're interested in. Go to the South, it's completely different. Same as with the East and West. Why do you think it's been slow to catch on in Europe?
Yeah, well, because it's the future. It's it's such a easy to install technology, and it's all about multi-sensorality, as I said before. The touching, and it's also. Paper is still a good solution, and especially wallpaper makers are doing a great job right now because they're offering a really nice range of products. But our solution, Cover Style, is self-adhesive, is fire retardant, is certificated, is it's easy, and it's.
I wanted to ask you about the adhesion actually. Is that easy to remove?
Yeah, well.
Does it damage the wall afterwards? What's the story?
We offer for an indoor installation, because it's interior design film, we offer 10 years warranty, which is huge.
Yeah.
So we need a very strong glue. It's a solvent-based glue. So to remove it, you have first to hit with a heat gun, or a car wrapper, a heat gun, and to activate the glue actually and make it reactivate and
okay, so that makes it pliable, and with a heat gun you can actually easily remove it.
If you try to remove it
without
could take the bricks away from the wall.
Okay, so that is the one tip that you need to remember when removing. Okay, post heating. Okay, well, I'd like to bring up my second guest now. He's a printer. He's a man who describes himself as he described to me, I should say, as the most profitable printing company when he's actually sat in a pub garden with his laptop and the phone. And I'd like to introduce you to Alan Wrigglesford, the Managing Director of Kingswood Ioptus and Kingswood Display. morning.
Well, I'm
Have a seat there, they're soft, these, aren't they?
well, obviously we're much better off up here, but then the hard seats down there.
That's what I'm figuring.
So,
Alan, tell us about your printing company that you look after.
we start with Kingswood Optus.
Yeah.
It's a digital print company based in Clifton Street, just behind the back of Liverpool's train station.
In London, yeah?
In London. It's a 24/7 operation, even Christmas Day.
Really?
Yeah, we have
You're a harsh taskmaster.
Yeah, no, and we have staff that wish to work it.
Oh, really?
Obviously, religion's getting involved with Christmas. Not obviously a topic of debate today, but the Jewish lawyers do like something printed on Christmas Day, and gives us a great privilege to be able to offer and extend that service. So,
What have you got there?
we've got 20 toner-based printers, Ricos, Canons, Konica Minoltas. We've got a small range of large format as well, and all the complementary finishing equipment for that. We are also nicknamed the Duplo, which is a print finishing company showroom,
Oh,
where
really?
we
Yeah.
appear to have more than what they have in their own showroom.
Ah.
So high capacity, very quick turnaround, mainly for its location, and i.e. that's our core business.
Right.
We then ventured out into large format. We've got
When
a
did you do that?
that happened before I joined the company. That was in 2016.
Right.
And made a huge investment with EFI Vutex, and obviously now working out of Swanley. So give you an idea of staff numbers, I have 50 odd staff in London and 15 with a couple of freelancers in Swanley. And Swanley now is our large format, let's say 24/5, and we've got to a stage now where the bottlenecks are now appearing mainly with the finishing part of it as opposed to the printing. So we've
Yeah.
got very fast printers, but as I'm sure most of the audience will know, that it's then finishing it is the bottleneck. And it's great to meet obviously Jeremy today, because seeing the wide range and the unbelievable products there. I've got one retail account that I believe will welcome Jeremy coming in and presenting, and I would look forward to that. And that's a customer that I've had for a very long time, and something I'm sure I wouldn't necessarily say that I need to print on it,
Yeah.
but that option's there if I need to,
Yeah.
and it is UV, as what you said, on there. So.
But you're adding value to your customers
yeah.
by introducing them to these things. aren't you?
Also, as the topic of conversation is around surface graphics, as an example, most of our stuff is retail-led, point of sale. And at the moment, the days, sort of 10 years ago, it would be like a show card, or they'd say, oh, they've got a pillar in this store, oh, can you wrap that with a PVC? And then you have issues very similar to, obviously, what we referred to here is you then need to take it off and not damage it.
Yeah.
So you're then using, specialist glues that, will allow it to be removed. But then the client then may want it up for 2 years, and it starts falling off because it's using a low-tack glue.
Yeah.
So it's very much a catch-22 position. But likewise, with the surface graphics side of it, is now we're being asked to reskim walls with point of sale, mainly for the fragrance houses and the liquor houses. So as an example, something for Gucci or Prada, we'll be doing those across all the UK airports.
Right, okay. I was chatting with Inktech, who are exhibiting here, and Inktech are an interesting company for me, because not only are they a manufacturer of inks, they're a manufacturer of flatbed Jetrix printers, but they now also have their own range of speciality surface graphics materials. And I was chatting to Peter Davidson from Inktech yesterday, and he showed me a product called Natura, which has got what they call a repositionable low-tech adhesive, but when applied, after about an hour, it sets and it goes hard, so it's not likely to just peel off the wall or anything. So again, like Jeremy was saying, to remove it, you would just probably apply a bit of post-heating.
Yeah. Out of experience, we normally find that our customers will paint and decorate the surface, and as Jeremy well knows, you then go up and you try and stick some vinyl up, and then 2 days later it's fallen straight off, even though it adhered at the time. So
We're at the mercy of the wall.
Well, exactly, and with the video that you showed, Jeremy, the priming is the secret if you do get that bit right, then it's everything's all downhill in my experience.
Who does the fitting for you?
We've got a few internal staff employed, but generally we go out to freelance companies. It's amazing how many clients want something installed at the same time on a certain day within retail.
Mm-mm. With the fitters, if you're working perhaps with a new product or something like, say, Jeremy's product, will you then bring your fitters in and actually show them how it should be used, or just give them a tech sheet and expect them to know?
I'll be honest, it's just a tech sheet.
I figured.
And to be honest, where everything's so fast-paced and I know preparation is the key to every successful job. But a great example would be a customer's telling us that the wall's 20 metres long. Yeah. We'll print, let's say, 21 metres long. If it's a generic image going across it, we'll even have a couple of extra drops put in there, and then you turn up and you start putting it in, and then you realise that the ceiling's not as level as the floor, and then it's got a slight adjustment you need to make to it. So it's really about having skilled staff, very equivalent to your hotel installation team. Who know what they're doing.
Now, something I do know about you is that one of your clients is Coca-Cola company. Is that correct? Yeah.
That's correct. So, I've been working with Coca-Cola now for over 10 years. I look after a project where the field sales reps, and there's over 300 of them at Coca-Cola, go into pubs, hotels, clubs to some degree, restaurants, bars, even newsagents and supermarkets. And they offer them point of sale to try and promote what I call selling more syrup. And it's a free service for all the end vendors. And using core print, which is a V-press technology, I'm producing about 500 orders a month, and that can be anything from 100 menus, where the field rep will go in and say, right, we'll have a baguette, a can of Coke, and a free packet of crisps, as an example. And it also has all the terms and legal terms on there. Go through for proofing, and then we've got, I wouldn't say, a handless production line. We're aiming to get to that, where, as an example, they will say, want these gloss lambs, want these matte lambs, so therefore when we print, we're batch printing to 2 different degrees, and then at the end of it, we're then compiling and collating the jobs as they go out. With regards there, we're using a DewSense technology for coating, which is very similar to some of your effects, which is an after effect. So as an example, if it's the Coca-Cola logo, we're then enhancing that on the actual print as an option. So therefore, every order that comes through has to be carefully managed and put through the. I was going to say,
Coca-Cola's not a company that
and they will not tolerate.
Wrong with.
They do not tolerate any errors.
Yeah. In terms of the actual workflow, you're using a web-to-print system, or what do you use for that? Because one of the things that keeps cropping up on panel discussions and debates that I've been watching is manufacturers are urging more sign and display companies to get connected and go with web-to-print. But when I meet a lot of display companies and say, what MIS system are you using? They say, what's an MIS? And there seems to be this kind of on a packet of fags type approach.
I would say that would worry me. But there again, if a printer can run their production without an MIS, then good luck to them. For me personally, I'd like to click a button and know how much money I've actually lost that day, as opposed to if I've made any money. And to do that, we have our own in-house developed application, which
what
we
use.
It's based on FileMaker, which is a Mac and PC platform based platform. And with that, we've just written all our own modules, so it's absolutely customised for Kingswood and Kingswood Display.
So effectively, though, the supplier of that MIS would actually work with you and bespoke develop it in hand in hand? Or?
No, I've personally written the software myself, so it is mine for the ground.
You'll be bringing it to market.
Yeah, it's been spoken about. But one of these sort of, to explain to you, sitting in a pub, and it'll be a couple of lines of code, or it now does this, and I'm now happy. Yeah. And that line of code, I can do I can spend hours and not get it right.
Yeah.
And then sit in a relaxed environment and a couple of minutes and I can't believe it's taken me hours to get there. Then that takes me away from my day-to-day running of the company. So I have to be very careful, managing my time carefully.
I mean, I'm an advocate for it, so, you know, I tend to bang on about it a bit too much, I suppose. But, you know, I really do feel, I mean, what advice could you give to, you know, a display printing company that might, you know, be thinking about, well, maybe we need to do it? How will it benefit their business? You know,
I mean, there's, you know, as an example, there's Fastons just behind the stand here. You know, that's a very complex MIS system. In my opinion, probably about a year to integrate it. So once you've actually got your staff trained and there, you've got a whole year of investment, mainly in time as opposed to money. Now, the benefits you then get from that is that you can then, you know, view profitability a lot more accurately, rather than wait for management figures at the end of each month, and by that point you're 2 or 3 weeks behind the curve. There are other companies out there with you know, MI systems where, you know, they can quote clients in minutes, refer to quotes, they can then analyse and say, we've done 20 quotes for this client, there's no point in any more quotes because we haven't won any. Or then we adjust the pricing. And it then works the other way, that if you've won 20 quotes, then you need to put your pricing up. So therefore, the reason that we use our own in our system is that we can keep a close eye on that.
so it's really all about managing costs. Yeah. Okay, well, that's good. Now, the connectivity also plays a role when you're dealing with clients and, you know, retail type clients and things that, such as Coca-Cola and everything else, isn't it? So how does that actually work? Is it an agency or what's the connection?
Okay, so keeping it related to MIS and to answer your question, with one of our largest accounts, I'm quite open about this, is World Duty Free. So this is a travel retail. So inside the airports we have staff that are trained and are qualified to actually go in and install graphics. That is a definite plus point, because if you haven't got that, then you haven't got an option. We are up against 2 other printers, so it's a fair sort of like system of quoting. And then what we would then do is that if we receive, as an example, 1,000 artworks for a campaign, we then have a thumbnail image production sheet, which then converts into a delivery note. So therefore, the client then sees exactly what they're getting as a thumbnail image, and no MI system out there does that.
Okay, so you've Kingswood Display is really where all the main wide format production is and everything else. So you've what did you say?
We've got two Vutex, 2 latexes, 2 Zs, and we also have one of each in London. We use a GMG colour management software. So one of our sort of medical accounts in London will order, let's say, 16 roller banners. They realise there's a typo on one. We're already shipping them in from Swanley into the client in London, normally overnight for the following morning. They're contacting us any chance we can have one for 10:30 in the morning. Staff will print one, it'll be colour managed at Clifton Street, and therefore we'll just replace it and charge the customer the earth for doing it.
So, are you looking at anything while you're up at the show? Is there anything caught your fancy?
No, I'll probably be selling more things than I'll be buying. So, but I will have a good look round. So
one of the things that I've been fascinated by is the 3D printer that's here from Massivit. You know, because with something like Jeremy's product and a little bit of, you know, for this retail display,
I've viewed the Massivit at Drooper, and I know CMY UK now have got the UK license or the distributor for it. It's a fantastic machine. Very expensive. It's expensive to run. Not many people realise, you know, the jollop that goes inside it. It does cost an awful lot of money.
You're breaking new ground with it, though. That's the
there's a couple of key companies out there, which I mentioned, Stylographics, who got involved in that right at the beginning, and they've had some huge success. And it's, you know, then saying to a cosmetic client, you can have a 6-foot bottle of perfume, and be able to produce it. The only issue that I have with that is you then have to finish it. So it's all very well it coming off the printer, but it's then what you then do as a secondary finishing, and therefore another investment.
Well, that's where Jeremy's products are going to come in. I mean, we're looking at Jimmy Choo, you know, that sort of thing with the spangly bling, and the examples I've seen have been big shoes for shoe retail and so forth. So where are you looking for, new inspiration and new products, and what are you doing with clients? Is it a process of you getting some inspiration and saying, I think this will really work for the client, or are you more led by them and their desires?
Yeah, I would say customer retention is paramount in the industry at the moment, and with that, it's better to have a good few large customers than it is to have many small ones. Where with Jeremy today, one of my clients, where at the moment I don't have the opportunity to sell them, let's say, surface graphics at Jeremy's sort of range, is now that would be a complimentary swatch book going in there and saying, oh, by the way, we can do this, especially with the installation scene that we've got. So yeah. I do feel quite inspired by today and meeting Jeremy, so I can, let's say,
Let me ask you now, just to sort of, are there trends in the retail market that you're picking up on that you feel that you need to respond to, or do you feel, well, we got a finger on the pulse at the moment, but are they moving in any direction?
Nothing that I would say is groundbreaking by any means. It's just regularly keeping contact with the customer and just making sure you understand what they need and get it right first time. So there's not really more that I can add to that on that column. So
Jeremy, what would you do with something like a big 3D printed 6-foot bottle of perfume or something?
Beer, maybe.
Exactly right.
Yeah. Well, look, have we got any questions for anybody in our audience this morning? Okay. We'll come to you. And I'll take care of that. Thank you.
Hi, it's a question for Jeremy. Actually, I was wondering if you are likely to get more into the security and defence type markets as a result of some of the technologies that you've got coming in, as well as obviously your well-established retail markets.
Yeah, well, actually, to be completely fair, I'm not an expert in the security field, I'm technical advisor for the cover style products, but it's definitely a trendy sector because of security issues are very interesting. But if you want to pass by our stand later, I can go deeper and because it's not my main field. I want to be completely right.
Do we have any more from the floor? Well, gentlemen, I think that's about all we've got time for. Thank you so much for coming in today and talking with us.
Thank you for inviting us.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.